Hi guys, this is Andrew and welcome to another video on AF Swift tutorials. In this video, I'd like to explain you how could you manage localizable strings in your Xcode project. In this video, I'll show you how could you utilize the power of enums in order to organize your localizable strings and manage multiple languages without fear of making typo, because you will be using enum cases. So first, I'm gonna create a sample label using Snapkit, and then we will go back to localizables. Alright, so now I've created a label, added constraints using Snapkit, and let's run the project, and we should see the label centered on X and Y coordinate. Alright, so here we see the label. So now let's deal with localizable strings. Alright, and one more thing. Let's rename it to Home View Controller. Alright, so now we have Home View Controller and our label, and now we want to add a localizable strings. So first, let's create a folder and call it Localizables. Inside of this folder, we'll be storing all the localizables enums for every view controller. It's the best to create a separate enum for every view controller to better manage them just in case we have a lot of strings. So let's create a home string file. We need Swift file, call it home string, and hit enter. So first, let's create an enum home string and add raw value of string type. We will need that later. And we have just one label, so we will add one case. Label title, okay, and now let's add localized computed property that will be doing all the magic with our localizables. So we create var localized. It's gonna be of type string, and we will be returning NSLocalizableString with key and comment. And for our key, we'll be using string describing, and our name, and the name of our string is gonna be home string, and we're referring to it like capitalized self and lowercase self to get to the type itself. Plus, we need our case, which we will be adding like a raw value. So plus, we'll be using string interpolation. In order to make it more readable, I will add underscore and raw value. And for comment, we just add empty string because we don't need any comments. So now let's create some string files and localize them. We need string file and save it as localizable. So first we switch to localizable string And on inspector panel, we hit localize. And now when we can switch back to project and hit plus under localization menu and choose the language. I'm choosing Ukrainian. I don't need localization for storyboards, just for localizable strings. And base language could be English, and hit finish. And now we have an arrow, and if you hit the arrow, now you have English and Ukrainian string. And we will be calling our keys for NSLocalizables. For our home string, it's gonna be home string, like we named our enum underscore, and our raw value of label title. So we add label title, and it's equals label. And this same string we're gonna copy to our localized language and add Ukrainian translation. Alright, so we have Ukrainian and English translation. Let's switch back to home view controller, and under label and text we can switch to our localizables. So how we're gonna be using it? So it's very easy. We call, just switch back to English, and we call in our home view controller, we call home string. We need label title, and we need localized value. So that's how we're gonna be using localized string. And in order to test it, we're gonna hit edit schema, and under options we're gonna switch our app language to Ukrainian. Hit close and hit run it. Because of this, probably I forgot it, semicolon. Yep. Alright, so here I have Ukrainian label. So it means that our home string worked just fine. So here is probably the simplest way how could you use localizables in your Swift project. There are also other ways how could you manage localizables, one of them using swiftGen, but it's more complex ways. You need to write some scripting, but this is the best for manual usage. If you don't have a lot of strings, this is the best way how could you manage strings and have multiple languages inside of your application. So if you find this video useful, give it a like, consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't done it yet, and I will see you next episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.